I'm Opra, and this is Opa's Place. Some of what I discuss on my videos may be a little controversial. Some of it you're going to agree with, some of it you're not. My hope with my videos is that it'll make you think and apply critical thinking and logic informing your opinions. I thought I was through with the last video talking about the Second Amendment, but after Harris was on Oprah Winfrey and said that her and her running mate Waltz were not going to take your guns and they were strong defenders of the Second Amendment, I felt like I had to post another video. They said they were strong defenders of the Second Amendment, all but that infringement part. And I'm kind of I'm kind of going by what she said in the past. They don't quite go along with that shall not infringe part because she believes in common sense gun laws, ever what that is. And that would include banning certain guns, red flag laws where you can tick your neighbor off or you can tick a relative off and they can just say, he's got guns and he scares me, so they come and get your guns and you got to go to court and prove that they shouldn't be scared of you. Includes gun buybacks, which is basically mandatory gun confiscation. No military style weapons, no large capacity magazines. They think 6 bullets is all you really need. Some of them think 1 bullet's probably all you need. And that they're both gun owners and they'll shoot you if you break into their house, they said. Face it, people, she's a gun grabber. She's always been a gun grabber. She thinks she should decide what kind of guns you have and that nobody but government should have certain kinds of guns. Look, we went over some numbers before. We said that 19,000 people a year are killed in gun-related homicides. Here's a couple more numbers. 1,600 a year from knives. Hands and fists, 665 a year. Rifles, 540 a year. And only 3% of those are from AR-style rifles. So why in the world they want to blame the AR on everything, I have no idea. Could it be because it's a military-style weapon according to them? Gun grabbers want you to have 6 bullets in your gun. That's all they want you to have. Some of them, like I said, want you to have but 1. But if shit hits the fan and you've got people coming to your house trying to take your food, trying to take your stuff, trying to do harm to you, and there's more than one of them, even if there's one of them and he's got 15 or 30 round magazine because he don't go by the law, how are you going to defend your stuff with 6 bullets? They don't want you to have assault rifles, and they can't even define what an assault rifle is. They say citizens should not have military-style rifles, but that's totally contrary to the Second Amendment and what it was written for. Politicians swear to do one thing. That's all they swear to do. One thing. Defend and protect the Constitution. Now, the Second Amendment is part of the Constitution. But they only swear to do one thing, and that's to protect and defend the Constitution. Guns are like a tool. That's all they are, is a tool. You've got a bunch of different kind of wrenches, a bunch of different kind of screwdrivers. You don't take a sledgehammer and try to hang a picture, and you don't try to drive a stake in the ground with a trim hammer. There's a bunch of different kind of guns, and all the guns have their different purposes. They're just like tools. That's all they are, is a tool. She's already said she wants mandatory buybacks, which is nothing but gun confiscation, like I said a while ago. This is a perfect example of how to tell if somebody is a freedom person, really loves freedom, or if they're for government oppression. If they don't want a gun, I don't tell them you've got to go buy a gun. You've got to have a gun. I don't tell them that. You don't want a gun, don't get a gun, but don't tell me that I can't have one because you don't want one. Same way with red meat. If you don't want to eat red meat, that's fine. Don't eat red meat. But don't tell me I can't eat red meat. If you want to drive an electric car, I have no problem with you going through the pain in the butt that it is to drive an electric car. But don't tell me I have to drive an electric car. That's how you can tell the difference in these people, if they really want freedom or if they want the government to tell them everything they do, which is an oppressive government. If you're scared of guns, you probably shouldn't have a gun because you probably get killed if you're scared of guns and you got one. You've got to know the difference between respect and fear of guns. If you think that you might need a gun in the future for protection, the way things are going nowadays, but don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable around guns, get educated. Talk to people who have guns. Go to a gun store. Go to a gun range. Talk to people. You can take classes. People will teach you how to handle a gun safely. People will teach you how to use a gun and not be scared of it. But if you're still scared of it, don't get one. If you're still scared of a gun, don't get one. They're loud. And even if you handle them correctly, you can hurt your hand. It can hurt your shoulder. But a hammer can knock the fingernail off the end of your hand, out the end of your finger too. But you're not scared of a hammer? Look, here's a perfect example of how this is blown out of all proportion. There are 240 million licensed drivers in the United States, driving 4,000-pound pieces of metal down the road 70 miles an hour with very little training, and half of them, more than half of them, but probably most of them, ain't got the talent to drive a car. And you come within inches of them every day on the road, and do you want to outlaw cars? You're a lot more likely to get killed in a car wreck than by a gun. So there's got to be another reason they want your guns, and we talked about that in the last video. I just had to bring this up. Anytime you're dealing with gun grabbers, you got to use critical thinking and logic. You cannot be a gun grabber and a defender of the Constitution. You can't be both of them because of the Second Amendment. So again, go back and look at my other videos. I wanted to just throw this in there after I saw her on Opra. Always use critical thinking in everything you do. Always ask why and never give up. Go back and look at some of my other videos. This will show you how you can order my book. I think you should order my book. But I didn't want to bog this video down with selling my book. So go back and look at those. Look at all my videos. Like, share, subscribe, spread the news, spread the word. Get everybody to thinking for themselves. Quit repeating what they see on the internet. Quit repeating what they hear on television. Think for yourself. Most people, like I said, are smarter than they think they are. But there are a lot of people who are nowhere near as smart as they think they are. But most of you are probably a lot smarter than you think you are. Make your own decisions. Quit listening to other people make decisions for you. Y'all have a good day and check out my other videos. Thank you.